Hi, welcome to Sisters for Financial Independence. My name is Catherine Agubjan, and here at Sisters for Fi, we help you manage your money better so that you can live a life of impact today and tomorrow. In this video, we are going to talk about open enrollment and benefits you might want to consider changing or upgrading to for the next year. Now, I won't go through all of the most common employee benefits out there. There is a video that I'll link somewhere here that talks about that. What I do want to do is offer some perspective on why you might want to opt in to a different benefit cycle for the next year. The first benefit I'll talk about is the health plan. And the health plan is a very important benefit, and it can save you lots of money and headache should you actually need to use it. And the big thing about the health plan is sometimes you don't know how good you have it until you absolutely need it. Now, of course, we all wish we don't need to use and maximize our health plan, but things do happen for a reason. And as the new year approaches, I'd like for you to just listen to your mind and body and see if it's necessary for you to start visiting certain doctors next year. If the answer is I need to do that, then I would encourage you to consider upgrading your health plan. For many of us, we may have opted for the lower premium health insurance because one, it's cheaper, and it really, if we're pretty healthy, we don't need the larger health plan package. But of course, as you get older or have kids, it may be necessary for you to really maximize the use of your health insurance. And as you're thinking about your personal mind and body or that of your family, it might be good to consider upgrading to a more expensive health plan that provides more coverage so that next year you can use it fully and you don't really have to think about needing to pay out a lot of out-of-pocket cost for using your health plan. The second area that I would also encourage you to do when it comes to the health plan is that if you are expecting next year, it is important for you to consider the cost of both your pregnancy, labor, and delivery. We all want a normal pregnancy and a normal labor and delivery, but sometimes that's not the case. And upgrading or changing into a health plan that covers more will provide you more peace of mind. Yes, upgrading will be a little bit more expensive. It will deduct more from your paycheck, but knowing that you have full coverage for certain medical emergencies and conditions will allow you to really focus on getting better and focus that time spent with your child. And you don't want a medical issue to curtail the recovery, and you don't want to have that worry that you don't have any medical coverage to help you with your recovery. I'll share two stories here about how a robust health plan can really save you. First story is actually my story. I was expecting my first child back in 2019. I had a fairly standard pregnancy, no major issues. Good news, we had a very good health insurance, so everything was covered. We did spend maybe $200 out of pocket for just co-pays. I also had a very normal, standard delivery. Again, good news, no issues. The challenge we had was that a few days after my daughter was born, she had a very bad case of jaundice, which required us to go to the ER and stay for a few days. That bill alone was around $25,000, something unexpected that we weren't even looking at or considering. The good news is that our health insurance covered all of that. Now, health insurance is always for the just in case, but it's good to have. And yes, we paid a little bit more in premiums for that year and maybe the years before, but having that health insurance coverage saved us a lot of worry, and also eliminated and really saved us from getting into medical debt. The next benefit I want to talk about is the retirement match. If you work for a company, your company may offer what's called a match on your retirement contributions. For example, if you contribute a certain amount for the year, your company may match that up to a certain amount for your retirement. So basically, people call this free money. Now, it's actually not free money because there's no such thing as free money. It is part of your compensation. The kicker is that when you do put in your money, you do tie it up to retirement, right? So you're putting in money aside for retirement. You are getting a company match if they offer it. So it doubles your money right then and there. The only catch is that you do tie up your money in a retirement account. But something to keep in mind though is that you are going to be retiring sooner or later. It's important to save and invest, and getting that match, you might as well do it while getting a match from the company you're working with. And this also allows you to take advantage more of the compensation. So it actually increases your overall compensation package because it's taken into account when they do your salary as well as your benefits package. The next benefit I want to talk about is a tuition reimbursement or employee training reimbursement benefit. And these benefits allow you to take on either a class or a training that allows you to advance your skills. Now, many of us may not be thinking about this because we're happy with the role we're still learning new things, or perhaps we're just don't have the time to take a class. I'm going to ask you to reconsider that because a training class, as well as perhaps pursuing like a second degree, can really help you down the line, especially if your employer is paying for it. It can help you advance your skills. It may mean you can level up and become an expert at a niche skill that can also help you grow your salary down the line. It can help you open up for more networking opportunities. Meeting people outside of your company can offer doors maybe a few years from now when you're ready to make the transition or leap. Completing a class or a training program also means you can add one more thing to your LinkedIn, your resume, or your performance self-review, which kind of signals that you are a willing learner and a go-getter when it comes to learning new skills and development. Of course, completing training or a course also means you're learning something new, which might be exciting, and it could be the bridge to your next opportunity. I'll share with you how I took advantage of tuition reimbursement. When I graduated from college, I joined a pharmaceutical company in New Jersey, and they offered tuition reimbursement for a master's program. Now, I was young, just out of college. I was not ready to go to school. But there was the incentive that the company would pay for my master's and didn't really require me to stay at the company. So I pursued my master's and had my master's degree from a well-known, expensive, private university in New Jersey and received my degree, and that was paid for by the company. So that action allowed me to get a degree without incurring any additional debt, without incurring anything out of pocket. And it also gave me a bit of a competitive advantage, especially for people that were around my peer groups, because I already had a master's degree. So something to think about, even if you're not ready to go back to school, having tuition reimbursement and going through a program like that can really pay off and provide you like a salary bump, or just gives your resume a bit of a competitive advantage as you move up your career. The next benefit that we'll talk about is the Healthcare FSA. If your company offers it, this can be a great way to save up money for all of those other health costs. Now, the FSAs do expire, so you do have a certain amount of time to use those funds, but putting funds away means you reduce your taxable income and you have some funds that you can use to pay for a lot of things health related, such as copays, deductibles, over-the-counter medication, and menstrual products. So the list for FSA eligible products has been expanded and there's more eligible for it now. So the FSA can go a long way to allowing you to save money and reducing your taxable income and providing you the means to purchase these products and save money. So I'll share another story about using FSA. A few years ago, I was looking to actually get LASIK on my eyes, and the Healthcare FSA came in handy when I needed to pay for that procedure. By saving money aside towards my FSA, I was able to use it at the end of the year to pay for the LASIK, which allowed me to essentially put untaxed money into an account and use that to get myself some new eyes. The next benefit that I'd also like for you to consider is the Dependent FSA. And it's very similar to the Healthcare FSA, but for this money, you would set it aside. It reduces your taxable income, but you can use that money to help pay for childcare or dependent care expenses for a child under 13 or a dependent that lives on your home that requires care. And again, this is a good idea for caregivers, especially for parents who require someone else to come into the home so that they can go to work, and you can set aside money for that through the Dependent FSA. This also requires a little bit of planning, right? So if you are pregnant today and you'll be expecting for someone to take care of your child later on, you can use the Dependent FSA money to do so. The last benefit I will mention is life insurance. Life insurance is really for the people you leave behind. So if there are people in your household that require on your income or require your presence to live, being taken care of, then life insurance is important. And you can get those group rates at fairly reasonable, fairly cheap rates through your company so that you can provide that security should something happen to you. If you don't have dependents or no one necessarily is counting on your income, you don't necessarily need life insurance. But short-term disability insurance might be what you need. And short-term disability insurance can help you cover a part of your income should you become disabled for a short period of time. And this can be through an accident, a TikTok injury, or really also childbirth. And having short-term disability insurance can mean that your income is covered at least partially for the period of time where you're not able to work, again, which can provide you a lot of peace of mind and ensure you're able to still get the basics and meet those basic expenses for you to live for you and your family. The next story I will share both includes the use of a health plan and short-term disability. And it is actually a story of our mother. Our mom was diagnosed with breast cancer a few years ago during Thanksgiving. And at that point in time, she wasn't sure what type of treatment she wanted to do. But she ended up getting a mastectomy as well as going through one round of chemo and radiation. And her health plan covered all of that. In addition, it covered her short-term disability. So she was able to get paid while she was recovering, and all of her medical costs were also covered. And again, sometimes you don't think you're going to need this. You don't think health insurance may be useful. Maybe you're young, you're healthy, and everything's fine. But sometimes life happens. But having this health plan can really save you money, save you worry, and save you the mental energy of thinking about this. So as you consider all these benefits, yes, still cost a little bit extra, but think about what your body needs, what your mind needs, and opt for those types of plans that can help you out down the line. There's definitely other benefits that we're not going to cover here, but I would also encourage you to really seek out, attend those enrollment sessions that your HR is setting up. Ask those questions. There's never ever a bad question when it comes to benefits, and look and read through your benefits guide. See what you can capitalize on. You can either save money for yourself and for your family, or you can get money that you can use down the future. Again, remember this: your benefits are part of your total compensation package. So every dollar matters, and everything that you take advantage of will allow you to maximize those benefits and maximize that compensation wisely. If this video has been helpful for you, I'd appreciate if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Sisters for Fi for more money lessons where we help you manage your money better so that you can live a life of impact today and tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in.